Hey, it's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Sunday, November 20th. So today we do have the moon in Libra all day. And of course, in Libran energy, we might be feeling extreme thoughts, extreme emotions, but what we're seeking is peace within ourselves, peace within our relationships. We're looking for stability. We're looking for balance. We want to meet ourselves and meet other people in the middle. Now, it is an air sign, so there is a lot going on in the headspace, and we are, again, trying to achieve that middle ground through the extreme emotions and thoughts that are coming up in us at this particular time. There are 11 different aspects here today. 10 of them involve the moon. So we have the moon making a positive interaction with Uranus, who is currently retrograde in Taurus energy. This particular interaction is definitely going to help us figure out, especially with some of the loss, some of the detachment that many of us are going through, what that actually means for us. Of course, we have to recognize with Uranus being retrograde in Taurus, what it is that we've been afraid to let go of, what it is we've been afraid to change, what it is that we've been overly connected and attached to. Now, many of us going through a wake up, through a shake up, where some of the pivotal people, pivotal titles, pivotal possessions in our lives are currently being stripped away. Now, this is a positive energy, although it doesn't sound too positive, because we're making peace with it. We're finding that middle ground. We're recognizing where it is that we have to compromise in life and where it is that we have to let go of certain things in order to have the space to create something new. We get a bit raw and vulnerable. We definitely feel exposed when the moon goes ahead and sits across from Chiron, that wounded healer who is retrograde in Aries energy. The Libran and Aries energy sit across from one another in the zodiac wheel, and we are definitely feeling a little bit vulnerable. Of course, contemplating the loss, contemplating the change, even if it's a positive change that you are making, can definitely expose some wounds. It can create a little bit of fear, a little bit of doubt, a little bit of insecurity. We are definitely going to sit in that, again, feeling the extremes in order for us to find a grounded middle point, a compromise, in order for us to see what it is, again, that's being exposed to us, the primary root cause of our not so nice emotions, in order for us to attempt to heal them. Now, the sun is going to kind of jump in here and make a little bit of a tension point with the moon. Anytime we have the moon and the sun kind of interacting in any kind of way, it's a realization of past situations and future situations. And what we're left with is here in the present moment. So the moon in Libra kind of semi-squaring and getting into this little bit of a confrontation, which Libran energy doesn't enjoy being in, with the sun in Scorpio at these final degrees of Scorpio energy, where we are really seeing the push, the shift for a great change, a great transformation. Likely not going to feel so well. The reason being is because the moon definitely highlights what it is that we've been comfortable with, where it is that we have been kind of hesitating to make these big changes, these big transformations. And of course, the sun is over here shining a bright light on what it is that we have to let go of, what it is that we have to put an ending to, what it is we have to see a death to in order for there to be a space for us to move on, to really kind of jump timelines, storylines, contracts. There's this overwhelming and very intense focus on what it is that we have to let go of in order to have the space and the free hands to grab onto something new. The moon goes ahead and bumps into the true node, which is our soul's path, our destiny point, and it's not happening in a very nice way. What we get here is a little bit of a hesitation on where it is that we know we have to grow, but we don't want to. Where it is that we know we should improve, but we really don't want to. Where it is that big changes, big transformations are kind of revealing themselves, but yet we are feeling the fears, the doubts, the insecurities, the hesitancy to actually step on that path and start walking towards our new reality. The moon goes ahead, bumps into Uranus once again, this time not in the nicest way, especially compared to earlier. And what this is going to do is really shake us up in our central nervous system, in our anxiety, if you will. We're feeling a little bit confused. We are having a hard time seeing the clarity. And instead, we're kind of holding on to the rigid thoughts, the rigid emotions that are definitely creeping up on us on what it is that we do have to kind of cut the cord with in order to actually move on. This brand new path, this brand new direction that is opening up for us is going to cost us our old lives. Now, the moon goes ahead and trines, which is a beautiful energy, with Saturn. And Saturn is the Lord of Karma. He rules over structures, foundations. He rules over roles and responsibilities. And he definitely highlights where there's a restriction, where it is that we're feeling held back, where it is that there's a hesitancy going on here. And let me just say that this is a positive interaction. So we're not going down in the deep dark hole of negative Nancy like we would if this was a negative interaction. Instead, we're trying to meet ourselves in the middle. We're looking at our roles, our responsibilities, our obligations, our commitments. We might not be happy that we have them. We might not be happy that, karmically speaking, we are being pushed into these new situations. However, the compromise, the negotiation skills of this Libran energy is helping us to do this back and forth, to meet ourselves in the middle, to kind of lessen the blow of the overwhelming weight of responsibility that we actually feel, and to try and lighten the vibe a little bit. We're recognizing where it is that we have an opportunity to build something new. We have an opportunity to start building the bridge that's going to get us from where it is that we're at to where it is that we desire to be. So we're trying to put a positive spin on this at this particular point with this particular energy. Now, it may not last long because the moon goes ahead and semi-squares, which adds a little bit of tension, with both Mercury and Venus, who are both in Sagittarius energy. So the Sag energy, of course, is focused on the future. It is, very optimistic, very confident. We want to focus on the possibilities. We're a little bit over dramatic. We're a little bit, I'm going to say, manic with what it is that, with our energy. We just kind of went from a lull to a grand high and maybe back again. But this particular energy is definitely going to put us at odds within ourselves. First of all, Mercury is our head space. The moon is our heart space. And this is a semi-square. This is a tension point. So we're not on the same page. The Sag energy just wants to kind of move forward and jump from one thing to the next. And Libran energy needs us to be a little bit more organized, having a little bit more of a plan, having a little bit more logic and practicality kind of added to our path moving forward. The Sag energy would just rather jump into something and sort the details out later. And the Libran energy is not down with that at all. So we have a little bit of a conflict between emotionally what we want to do versus our mental plane, which is encouraging us to just do what we think we need to do and worry about the rest later. Venus being in Sag, of course, is representing our relationships, our money matters, our worth, our value. And in Sag energy, she's really just trying to be positive and optimistic and trying to be playful and have fun. But the semi-square with the Libran energy, which of course Venus energy rules over, kind of putting us in a tough space because, again, the Libran energy wants us to find balance and the Sag energy just wants us to move with the energy, go with the extreme, take it all the way to the right side and then come back to the left side again, where the Libran energy is kind of standing in the middle saying, okay, can we be a little bit balanced here? This back and forth is starting to make me a little bit seasick. Now, we get a positive interaction here between the moon and Mars. Mars, of course, retrograde in Gemini energy, really putting the pressure on our mental plane, really blocking us from being able to kind of assert ourselves out in the world the way that we would like. But this is kind of pulling the reins back on that intense energy in that mental plane in order to sort out the pros and cons. The Gemini energy, very extreme, very dualistic, very polarized in our choices, in our ideas, in our path, in our direction. And it's been a little bit overwhelming having this complete, huge, intense surge of energy, inspiration, motivation, determination to go ahead, to just jump into something. And then, of course, we lose all that lackluster. We don't even know the direction that we're supposed to be taking. We talk ourselves out of it. And this back and forth has been very exhausting. The moon in Libra comes in to kind of moderate the situation a little bit, to turn the volume all the way down on the intensity, to turn the volume all the way up on the lackluster, and hopefully meet ourselves in the middle where we can kind of align with the positive ideas, with where it is that we should monitor our energy in taking things to the next level, where it is that we should be optimistic and positive and really looking forward to the possibilities of the future, but also just not jump into something that hasn't been well thought out and well strategized. The sun trines Jupiter. This is a beautiful freaking energy. Okay, so anytime that the sun is interacting with a planet, it is pouring life force energy into that planet and what that planet is focused on. And Jupiter, although currently retrograde in Pisces energy, he'll be going direct here in a couple of days under the new moon in Sag that he rules over. Jupiter is all about growth and expansion, all about beliefs, all about blessings. And the sun is shining a bright light, of course, still in Scorpio energy, where the growth is happening, where the change is happening, where the transformation is happening, where the empowerment story is happening. And this is a beautiful energy to push us, to encourage us, to boost us into the mind space, into the heart space, where we are looking to grow, looking to expand on our realities. And this is, triggering a new level of confidence, optimism, enthusiasm. We are looking to the bright side of life, plucking out the silver linings. This is encouraging us to kind of improve our mind state, improve our emotions, improve our attitude, and improve whatever it is that we are kind of pouring into. This is triggering a want, need, and desire to kind of move on. And we have to kind of watch out because Jupiter does turn the volume all the way up and tend to magnify whatever it is that we're thinking and feeling. So we could take it to the extreme level of having an overwhelming amount of optimism and confidence that puts us in positions to bite off more than we could chew, that we will have to kind of retreat from later. However, this is a positive vibe, so I don't see it magnifying a whole lot of the negative narrative, a whole lot of the shadow elements that we are hopefully done with acknowledging and working through now that Scorpio season is coming to a close. The last aspect that we have here today is between the moon in Libra and Neptune, who is in its place of power, retrograde though, in Pisces energy. What I love about Libran energy and Pisces energy is that it's electric. We have the Piscean energy that is aligned with the higher self, aligned with intuition, that really lives in la la land, fantasizing and imagining the realm, the reality of possibilities for us. That's kind of how we come up with a dream, a vision, and a goal. And when channeled correctly, brought into the mental plane that Libran energy is tapping into, being an air energy, we're able to actually apply logic and practicality to whatever it is that we're kind of conjuring up, dreaming about, fantasizing about, which means that Libran energy is going to apply a little bit of intellect there. How do we bring this to life? How do we align with our new passion and our desires? How do we bring our fantasy into reality? And of course, the moon in Libra is going to balance the scales of that energy out. It wants to, kind of stay in the shallow end. It doesn't want to put pressure on us to say, how are you going to make this happen? What's your next move? Instead, it's a very gentle, very light and fluffy, encouraging type of energy. This is like, run with that dream, speak on it, talk about it. Like if you could snap your fingers and have the magic of the cosmos, the magic of the universe, just snap things together for you, what would that look like? Now, granted, we do have the opportunity to take this on the negative side of this energy, the negative side on these particular interactions, which would be that we're so overwhelmed with trying to figure out what it is we actually want to do that we just want to kind of check out and dissociate from life and from reality altogether. That wouldn't be advisable at this particular point in time because we are in some powerful energies for manifesting and really kind of gaining a whole lot of clarity. However, sometimes we need to sit in the funk and really kind of sort out what it is that we're thinking and feeling and where the blockages are in order for us to examine that, to work on that, to heal that, to remove that, so that the energy can actually flow through us with a lot more grace and a lot more ease. That is how we manifest. We grasp a vision, we hold a dream, we apply logic, practicality to it, we blend the intellect with our intuition, we get our heart and head on the same page, and then we can engage the physical body to go ahead and take action to actually make moves that would align with bringing our dream and our vision to life.